I have no idea where my titles went. Oh, I need to change something, clearly. There's supposed to be titles after that. That's weird. I shall make myself a little note. I'm sitting there waiting for the titles to kick in. It's like, no. Check. Warhammer Sunday titles. Pre-roll. That was weird. That was very strange. I suspect I've got like 17 hours of work to do in rendering. Something's gone wrong. That's weird. Anyway. What a wonderful start. That's very strange. I can't think why that's not worked. Anyway. I've just checked the end titles are there. Just check the end titles. Yeah, they're there. How very strange. I must have re-rendered the titles and missed out the entire, I don't know, title sequence. Is very weird. Anyway, welcome one and all. I'm getting an email. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Well, hang on. Let me just check something. Yes. Excuse me. Welcome one and all to Warhammer Sunday. Now, you will notice it's just me at the moment. I've not heard back from Festa. He didn't do a stream today, and I've not heard back from him yet, so I assume he's fine. I just assume he's maybe slept in, or he's been given a Mickey by Mrs. Workshop, who's given him a Mickey because he hasn't been sleeping well, and he's just slept through. Hopefully he's alright. I have messaged him, but if you are watching, Colin, and you're not feeling very well, do get better soon, if that's what the problem is. But other than that, wake up! No, he's probably just sleeping in. He doesn't sleep well, does our Festa. Anyway, but never mind. We shall carry on regardless. Of course, I'm not going to work on the Leman Russ that he and I are both working on as a buddy build. So instead, I'll just simply carry on with my Horus Heresy Age of Darkness shenanigans. But Colin, if you are watching this and you decide to join in, just drop me a text and I'll see if I can switch over to the relevant Stream Labs thing and we can just sort it out. Anyway, yes, welcome one and all to Warhammer Sunday. Before I get going, of course, all the usual shout-outs to my channel support. I always get this wrong. Channel sponsor. I always normally say corporate supporter, which is not the right phrase. Channel sponsor. emodels.co.uk. Your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. All the needs. All of them. Every single one. Every need you've got, they'll meet it. Model making need, of course, not other needs. That's kind of weird. But all your needs, they'll meet it. So go to emodels.co.uk to see what you can get. There is a link in the description below the video, so use that if you want to. Lots of savings to be had on all your model making supplies that you will need. And of course to my patrons and channel members, the supporters who literally pay my wages each month. They put they put food on my table. They don't put money on my table. But they put food on my table. Literally, I can pay my bills and I can keep doing this as a living, because I do this as a business, as for my living. So a big thank you to my patrons and channel supporters, my channel members. If you want to help this channel out and become a channel member or a patron, just click on the join button below the video or any of my content to become a channel member, or you can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru and you become a channel member. Patron. Oh wow, my words are all over the place today. I do apologise. I'm all at 6s and 7s at the minute. It's not right. It's not right without my buddy here. It seems weird on a Sunday. But yes, you can be a patron or a channel member. You get loads of exclusive stuff, free stuff, and also you get access to the live and free 24/7 offline Zoom hangout, where you can hang out with all the patrons on mine and Festa's channels and have a jolly good time any time of the day, 24/7. It's just a fun, friendly, safe place to hang out with your buddies. So yes, don't forget, of course, if you're watching this, I have got the chat here in front of me. You can see on my enormous iPad, because I'm zoomed in quite close today, my enormous iPad of happiness, where I've got the live chat. So if you, I'm going to depend on you guys to give me stuff to talk about, because I'm on my Todd. So please do give me lots of things and interesting things in the chat. If you want to catch my attention, you can do like Candygram did there and just put @modelmakingguru, and it puts my name in an orange box so I can see it when I've got my out of focus lenses on. Or you can do a super chat. You can press the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That puts your comment in a coloured box that you can't miss, and also it puts a little animation up in the top of the screen there. And I've got no way to miss your comment in that case. So do feel free to do that. I'm just going to change one thing. There we go. Do feel free to do a super chat if you so wish. It will also help support the channel at the same time. If you're watching this embedded in Facebook or Twitter or Patreon or somewhere else and you want to join the live chat, click on the YouTube icon on the bottom right. It'll take you to YouTube where you can carry on watching and you can join the live chat. And you should, because all the cool kids are in chat. So let's have a look and see who is in chat. First person in is Ironman129, not seen you for a while, buddy. Ironman129, who asks if there's any word on Colin. Like I said at the start, no, I've not heard back from him, so I assume he's just overslept. He sometimes sleeps in because he doesn't sleep well, bless him, and sometimes he just has to catch up. Sometimes H drops him a Mickey and he just sleeps for like 12 hours because he has to, well, maybe not 12 hours. Andy McLeish is in as well. Welcome to you, Andy. He says, hope the big lug is okay. Betcha H caught him in the kitchen again and whopped him with the emergency rolling pin. It's not really an emergency pin with Festa. H's pin is more just, it's the daily use pin. He's always in trouble. Marcus Brune is in. Welcome, Marcus. Big hugs to you and to Wendy Hickson as well. Paul Di Tommaso is in. Hello, Foxx Colin all in chat. Welcome to you, Paul. Big hugs. Panzer is in. Panzer Cat. Greetings to you, Panzer Cat, my feline friend. Anybody else has come in? We have Paul Lewis is in. Hi, Fox, everyone in chat, and special hugs to Colin. I'm sure he'll accept those. And that's everyone in chat so far. There's 18 of you watching, but there's not 18 of you in chat, so do come and join the live chat. Now, as you can see, I'm quite zoomed in today because if you didn't watch Friday and Saturday stream, I'm working my way through the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness set, and so far I've built 12 Marines, 4 Vexillari, 4... what they called Nuncio Vox operators, and 4 sergeants, as I call them, big birds, because they got the floppy thing on the head. I built the 2 Praetors and I built the Dreadnought. So I'm going to build 10 Space Marines. I built 5 here. 10 Space Marines of the 10 Legionaries, I should say. 10 Tactical Legionaries, and then when I've done 10, I'll move on to, say, the Terminators, and when I've done them, I'll move back onto the Legionaries, and when I've finished all the Legionaries, I'll do the big Spartan tank thing. So we're going to carry on. We've got 5 done so far, so I'm going to carry on with the next 5 before we start doing some Terminators. Terminator! Now, I've got them all here in front of me because I want to make sure they don't all accidentally have the same head pose, and I want to make sure each time I do the same, because it's only the same 5 guys over and over, I don't want them all to have the same pose, and I can't help but see them as wombles now. After doing something the other day and writing about wombles, I then had to go and do lots of hours and hours of Google hunting about wombles and watching wombles videos. Now somebody needs to paint a Space Marine faction, a legion in Horus Heresy, but actually paint them as wombles, so like white armour and yellow beak. It's what needs to happen. It's what needs to happen. Excuse me. Let me get out Anne Sprue, and we shall continuate with the Anne Sprue. Now I've got some partial sprues here, so we'll go from the other end. I've got some partial sprues where I've already taken dudes off to make sergeants and that, so I'll put them at the back. I've done on all of them. That one's kind of got nothing on it now. So I'll put that there. So we'll start with this one because this has got all 5 Marines on it, and then for the rest of the sprues we'll just go through them. I've already taken like 1 or 2 off each sprue to make the other 12 dudes, so we'll go in and we'll slowly work our way through. I'll just put that down there and that there. There we go. Now I've not added all the little greebles to them, the little, pouches and accessories and crack grenades and stuff like that. Yeah, I've not done that. I'll do that later once they're all built, because that's a task all in and of itself. Quick swig of tea and then we'll crack on going. So yes, please do make sure you're asking me lots of things in chat, engaging me in conversation, because otherwise it'll be a really quiet show. Because yeah, I depend on you now to give me stuff to talk about. You can ask me anything. Always treat my chat as an AMA. However, please don't go on about religion or politics. That's going to end poorly and not actually going to happen. So don't do that. But any other subject is pretty much fair game. Super chat from Marcus Brune. Okay, trying this again. Super chat. Yay, says Marcus. €9.99 super chat. Thank you very, very much, Marcus. You're very, very kind. I assumed you tried it a minute ago and it didn't work. Very, very kind of you, my friend. You're awesome. Don't let them... Don't. There you go, see? I don't believe a word they say about you. You are awesome. Yeah, sometimes super chat doesn't work if you've got a pop-up blocker. Thank you, Bigley, for that. That helps the cause, helps keep this channel alive. Because I do this for a living. This is my income. This is my business. So everything helps me literally pay the bills, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, so that's the backpacks queued up. So we're going to start basically on each sprue. If you've watched the last 2, you'll know. On each sprue, you get 5 legionaries, Space Marines. And you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So I'm basically building the same 5 dudes over and over again. Yeah, I wish they'd given you 10 and not 5, but never mind. Right, so we'll do pose 1 again. Pose 1 is the most boring pose. And that's parts 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now by this point normally I've actually figured out what I'm doing and I'm used to all the parts, but because I'm building this to sell it, I don't want to make any assumptions and screw things up. We'll get out the magic pad of buildage. Now my friend Kenneth got me this. It's a little sanding thing. It's not actually meant for the purpose that I use it for. You're meant to get your sanding sponges and just kind of wipe them across it to get all the crap off, but I just use it as a little base upon which to do my sanding, because then it catches all the little bits of debris. So I'm going on. Oh, that's the wrong one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nearly cut off the wrong piece there. Part number 2. Whoa! I don't even know where that just went. Whoa! I just cut off the back of the torso and it went literally in the air. I've got to try and find that. Oh God! I'll try and find that now. That could have gone quite literally anywhere. Let me get my torch out. Let me get my phone torch on. It's going to have gone into into my bits box or something, isn't it? I can see this coming. Pull everything out and try. That went well high in the air though. Now I've got to go through my box of things and find it. Could it be in my box of... No, not one of them. Das ist nicht richtig. Right, I may have to worry about that later and borrow from the future. I can't see it, but I can't spend half a stream looking on the floor for a bit. The noise, the sound of... Oh, tell you what I found. I found an arm with a sword on it from a completely different set. How bizarre. And I found the clip for one of my earpieces. Rummaging. That's all I ever seem to do. For some reason with this particular set, this Age of Darkness set, I've spent more time looking for bits that have fallen on the floor. I don't know why. I've never had so many parts fall on the floor in a build. Apart from this set, which everything seems to want to leap out of my hands and onto the floor. I'm not going to find this, am I? I'm going to have to empty my rubbish bag because I suspect it's probably gone into my rubbish bag. That might be fun. Right, well I think we'll have to do that later because I'll be here all day otherwise. So let's just put that back in there. Caloo Calais, oh frabjous day. I'll just double check it's not in my big rug. No. Yeah. Tish and Peshore, I say. Tish and Peshore. Oh. Well, that's annihilating. Oh well, never mind. I'll borrow from the future. I'll take someone else's and I'll worry about that later. I'll have to check in my rubbish bag. So there you go. Pingage happens to all of us. I don't know. I think that's from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers set. I've no idea why it's in there. That's weird. I'll put that over there for somewhere. I don't know what to do with that. Right, so let's go and borrow somebody else's torso. Borrow from the future. Except I've used all... Oh no, I haven't. There's a spare one. That was... I've never seen that. I've never done that before. With a piece on a sprue, ping it off across the room. Vertically up, straight vertically up. Very strange. I have to just remember that I've got that now. I hope I can find that though. Because that'd be a bit rubbish if I've got one torso missing. Because I can't build that Space Marine then. Right, where are we up to? Fox has not fed the carpet monster. Lamps be warned, says Panzer. Yes. A mystery of the universe, says Jeff. Jeff says, ask me anything. My thermos keeps hot liquids hot and cold liquids cold. My question is, how does it know? Well, when a cold liquid and a hot liquid love each other very much, I don't know where I was going with that. In my brain, I thought, this is going to be a hilarious joke, and then after a second I thought, yeah, probably not. It's magic, dark physics magic. Hang on, what's that? Oh, I thought I found it then. I'm going to have to go through my rubbish bag, aren't I? I hate doing that. The one downside of having your little rubbish collection, because I don't have a bin, so I've got a carrier bag hanging off the side of the workbench where I just put my bits of paper and stuff and bits of plastic, and then I put it in the bin. I'm going to have to go through that now, aren't I? Oh, flangularity. Paul Lewis says, damn it, just sneezed, got nose dribble all over my screen. Ew! I didn't know about that. Andy McLeish suggests about the thermos flask. It says it's Carl Sagan stuff. The thermos flask keeps the liquids warm unless they are cold, in which case it keeps them cold. This is the amazing power of physics and magic, but not magic. Andy McLeish says he's getting better, he thinks. Wouldn't mind it so much, but the waking up between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. with gunk in my throat really is the worst part. Ew. Paul Ditter's in. I greet you one and all. Welcome, Paul. There we go. What else is chat doing? If I've missed anybody, Muse is in. Scale Model Muse. Welcome, Muse. How you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Right, so I borrowed from the future. I hate doing that, but I'll have to find it at some point. I guess if absolutely desperate, I can always go on eBay and buy somebody's probably selling a single Space Marine, I guess. Right, so we got that bit. So frustrating. We have spent so much time scribbling around on the floor for parts that I've just lost and dropped. It's pathetic. I've already lost. There's only one part I've lost so far permanently, and that was luckily recoverable because it was part of a cloak that I could fudge. 39 is the head that I need, and the pauldron is 34. So there's 34, keeping firm hold of the part. And head number 39, which will be... Oh, I need the leg and things, don't I? 3 and 4. There we go, 3 and 4. Making sure. 3 and 4, making sure. 39, except for the head, didn't I? Which is not here, where this rest of this dude is. It's actually... somewhere. 44, 43, 41, 40, there. Down amongst somebody else's arms. Because of course it is. So we shall put that there. Yeah, I don't unfortunately have any spare Heresy Mark 6 armours, because I think this is the first plastic ones in this format, so... Right, let's get some clean-up done, and we'll build cashier number 6. Marine number 6. AMA, is the answer to this question no? No. The previous statement was a lie. The following statement is the lie. The previous statement was true. Or is it the other way around? The previous... I can't remember how it works now. But there is that little... thing, isn't the way you say the following statement is true. The previous statement was a lie, or one or the other, something like that. But yeah, do feel free to ask me questions in chat, for the love of a dog, because it'll give me something to talk about. Otherwise, this may be a very boring stream. I'll put them over. I don't know what to do with these bits that I found. I've got nowhere to put them. I'll put them in there. There you go. Right, I can stop muttering now and just get on with some work. I'm a bit at 6s and 7s today. We'll get nubs off first. I've only ever lost 2 parts, likely to be found years from now or never, says Muse. Yeah, I managed to find most of the parts. In my entire model making career, the only 2 parts I've ever lost are a bit of the cloak from the dude I made the other day, and a 1/72 scale R2D2 for a Fine Molds Y-Wing. That I was in the garden, a nice summer's day, making the model on the garden table, because it was a nice day, and I had my wooden board out, my little sort of portable workbench, and I was making this model, and R2 pinged off the table. He was painted silver. He just had a silver primer coat on him, and he landed on the patio, which is basically, I I don't know, 15 foot by 15 foot, completely flat and featureless square flagged surface. And the only features are the gaps between the flags. And vanished. It's like it was nowhere on any of the flags, there was nowhere between the gaps. Just absolutely vanished, like it just disappeared into a different dimension. To this day, many years later, still never found it. It's very strange. Right, drilling barrels. I lost this sight off a Gundam once, off a Gundam's weapon once, and then found it the next day in a bathroom. In the bathroom, which was nice because it was a commission build, so it was good that I didn't have a completely missing part that I couldn't replace any other way. It was the little coloured, oh, this one's a bit ropey, little coloured square that was the lens. This one's not the best drilling. It's a bit off centre. Have to be careful with this now. Don't want to mess it up because it's not in the centre, so I'll just scrape out the surrounding area to make it centred. There we go. Makes it look a lot more like a normal barrel once it's got a wash in there to darken it. You'll never know. I'll tidy that up with a little bit of the extra thins just to get rid of the scrapey fluffy bits. Now it's perfectly smooth, and you'd never know that I didn't drill that hole in the centre. You'd just think that's a perfectly drilled barrel because I'm an awesome drillist. My drillularity knows no bounds. Better bird took it to its nest, shiny, says Muse. It could be. Could be. Hey, I don't know. Right, so let's crack on. We'll get this weapon cleaned up. You'll see me doing a lot of mould line removal with my knife blade in these builds. I don't tend to do that very often. But so many of these parts are so small, and the actual mould lines are so fine on these models that you can kind of get away with it a bit more. Like on Imperial Guardsman, you can't, because you have to scrape so much away that you just make a mess of the surface. Anyway, so how is everyone? I hope you're all well. I myself am fine, thank you, apart from having lost that one part, and I'm all frustrated. And I've got to go through my rubbish bag again. Ooh, God knows what I'm going to have to pull out of there. But yes, I'm not doing too badly. Don't forget, of course, bench and belly, folks. What's on your bench? What you're working on right now doesn't have to be a model kit. It could be an art project, a drawing. It could be painting. It could be just you making some shelves or something craft-based. I don't know. Anything really. Anything creative. And what's in your belly? What have you had for your dinner? Or what are you going to have for your dinner? A bit of untidiness on the magazine there. I need to clean that up. Dinner for me? I'm not sure yet. I still haven't made chicken Kievs like I've been meaning to for the last 2 weeks. Probably chicken Kievs, I think, tonight. Because it's easy to make. Bang them in the oven, stick them in your face. There you go. Chicken Kiev. I might do a bit of Fox's mess. Again, I've been trying to do this for the last 2 weeks, and every time it gets to dinner time, we don't end up having it. So, yes. But yeah, what's your bench and belly? And if you're not at the bench, obviously you're watching this, what have you got planned for the rest of the weekend then? Here's one to our American brethrens, or brethren even, because brethren is a plural. Here's one to our American cousins. What have you got planned for tomorrow, for July the 4th? What have you got going on, my friends? What's your plan? Barbecue? Beer? General jollity, I assume. Because we had Canada Day the other day, and tomorrow's the 4th of July. I just checking the date on my watch then. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, so yes, what have you got planned? If you're in the US, of course. Or even if you're American but not in the US, that's also an option. If you're outside the US, are you doing anything? Of course, we're British, so I don't have to do anything for July the 4th. Okay, that's his bolter done. So we'll put the cleaned up bits in this little tray here. There, see? Nicely. Oh, I know what I do need to do. Because I keep forgetting to clean all the little nubs off these guys' pauldrons. Because I pre-made all these And I keep meaning to clean them up afterwards and never do. So I'll just go back and clean some of these up. La 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 la. Yep, that needs cleaning up. Yeah, I made these pauldrons and I left them to be cleaned up later, basically. Just glued them together and left them to be cleaned up later. I made them all in one go, one big batch. And I'm just cleaning them up as I go along, and then I keep forgetting, basically. So I have to wait till the pauldrons are glued in place. I'm a very forgetful fox, what can I say? La 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 la. Filing. So yeah, probably chicken Kievs tonight. I just know it's going to be chicken Kiev. Well, I know it's not going to be chicken Kievs because something will happen and Mama Fox will be like, I want something else instead. I know what she's like. I know what she's like. Right, there we go. That's that. Now I need to clean this pauldron up. It's one of the Granny Bubble Hat pauldrons. I shall not discuss such things. Where are we? Marcy Muse is rebottling paint, stupid pots. That'll be the Games Workshop ones then. Tuna casserole will be dinner. Lots of laundry to do today. Work tomorrow because I get time and a half for holidays. Ooh, extra monies. And Miss Dog is barking. Be right back. Woof, woof, woof. Hello, dog. Woof. Marco says belly paella. Bench, yes, still the Shackleton. Beverage, a beer. Ooh, what kind of beer? Tell us which beer. All the details required. All the details. Is it fizzy lager nonsense? Is it proper manly ale that's so brown you can't see through it? Is it Poncy Belgian stuff that just tastes like a bunch of flowers? I can't stand Belgian beer. Ugh. It's too flowery. I mean, it tastes like flowers that grow in the ground, flowers. You don't like it. Cleaning up this little gap here is such a pain in the bum. It is indeed a bum pain. But it needs to be done. If it means I get good looking bubbles, I suppose I can live with it just about. Paul Lewis says, belly, steak and chunky chips for dinner, bench, 112th MFH Ferrari 512S Le Mans, beverage, nothing yet, this status will change. That'll be water then, will it? Bobbins, hey Bobbins, says, belly tonight, mildly spicy sausage casserole, bench, still the TS050 Toyota. Ooh. Jeff says, belly and omelette, which was shared with two dogs who always happen to be in my man cave when I have food. It's almost as if they know. Oh, they've got a really good nose. Bench, a 172nd Bandai Schwimmwagen kit from 1973. Wow, there's a relic. That's long out of production, that one, I think, isn't it? Wow. They used to do things like that before they got into Gunpla and stuff. Paul Di Tommaso is having white cheddar Kraft mac and cheese and a Pepsi Zero. Oh, mac and cheese. Oh, I've got mac and cheese in the freezer. Oh, can I do them from frozen? Oh, if I can do mac and cheese from frozen in the freezer. Oh, because I've not defrosted anything. I've made the terrible mistake of like stocking the freezer up with things that you have to defrost first. It's like, oh, and I always forget, and then I say to Mama Fox, right, tonight we'll have X, and then I get it out and I'm like, oh wait, I have to defrost it for like 1,000 hours. Oh, let's have takeaway then, because it's like 8 o'clock at night by that point and I've not defrosted it. So yeah. Now the chicken Kievs I don't need to defrost, and they are quite nice. Can't believe I lost that torso. God damn it. I have to hope I can find it, because I'll be a bit knackered if I can't. I can't sell this with one marine missing. That would be not done. I shall clean that little pauldron up a little bit with the. I'll do it when it's on his shoulder. I'll clean it up a little bit when it's on his shoulder. Bobbins also has two packs of Magnums. Which one? Which ones? I love the salted caramel Magnums. Oh, they're just like mouth sex. Phil East is in. Welcome, Phil East. Welcome to you. Yeah, there's like a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, Mama Fox and I, it was like a really warm summer before Mama Fox got sick. So we'd spend like our afternoons, because it was too warm to do anything in the house. So we spend our afternoons sat on the patio enjoying the cool breeze and just chilling out. And our local corner shop decided to start selling boxes of 5 packs of salted caramel magnums, which they haven't stocked since. It's like, oh. And both Mama Fox and I decided they were the nicest things ever. And we just sat there and ate them by the box full. 4 a day each, so it was craziness. It was like, oh, I'll have to eat more of those. Then we all died of heart attacks, of course. But hey, that was a good summer. That was a good summertime. Oh, salted caramel magnum. Oh. And then they stopped selling them, and like I'd go into, say, the local supermarket, and they'd occasionally have them, and it'd be like, oh, why are they so hard to find? So I just ordered them online instead. Excuse me. Marcus says, beer, it's an IPA, it's okay, it's what I had in the fridge. IPA is fine, because that's closer to a manly ale than fizzy lager crap. There's only a small number of like fizzy lager beer crap things that I'll drink, and that's purely because it's tradition. And those are things like basically restaurant beer. So if you go in this country, in the UK, if you go to an Indian restaurant for a curry or whatever, you have to have like basically a bottle of Cobra or what's the other one? Cobra, or I can't remember what it's called now. There's another one. Basically, you get like if it's an Indian restaurant, it's Cobra. Or the other one, I can't remember what it's called. If you go to an Italian restaurant, they tend to have Peroni, which is like a very light fizzy Italian beer. It's quite pleasant. If you go to a Chinese, it's either Tsingtao or a Kingfisher. Oh, Kingfisher you get in the Indian restaurants as well. For some reason, it's Kingfisher, and you get Tsingtao, and there's another one I can't remember in China. So those are the only times I'll ever drink fizzy lager beer type things. Is when it's because you're in that restaurant of that nationality, and that's the beer you drink. Tsingtao, it's quite a nice beer. If it's Japanese, obviously you get Asahi. They usually have Asahi or Sapporo. That's any time really. So when I occasionally treat Mama Fox to a beer with a dinner, if she's been up all day and she's been good and got up on time and not been slouching, then I'll treat her with, say, a little bottle of beer, a little tiny bottle of beer. I'll get something light and low alcohol and harmless, like a small bottle of the Italian one that I've just forgotten the name of. I've just said that one, or something like that. Something's only like 3 or 4%, because she can't drink a lot because obviously she's wobbly on her feet. So, but I might treat her. I say, if you're good today, and if you stay up and you don't go for snoozes and you don't grunt when you get out of bed and you take your pills, then I'll treat you to a beer with your dinner. Work's a treat. Work's an absolute treat. If there's no promise of like a beer with a dinner, then she's just like, I don't want to get up. She's not getting up. You're going to fight her to get out of bed. If you say, if you get up now, there's a beer in it for you when you have dinner, bang, she's out of bed, washed downstairs. Done. Yeah, bless her. I still have them, I think. Fox, it's the white chocolate magnums myself that Phil likes. Yeah, they do exist, but for a while, when we suddenly got into them for a while, they were really hard to find. I think probably because it was like a really hot summer and everybody bought them, and they were just out of stock. Yeah. Ooh. Salted caramel magnums. Oh, yes. Most excellent. Mental note, never drink Asahi beer on an empty stomach. Did that once, never again. Sandy McLeish. Nothing wrong with Asahi beer. It's nice. Asahi super dry. The one exception, obviously if you go for Japanese, if you don't have the Asahi beer or the other one, then you can of course have sake. But there is one exception, and that is if you go for Thai food or Korean. If somebody, don't make the mistake I did of going for a Korean meal, Thai fusion Korean type meal, and going with someone who's actually Korean. because they said, right, I'm Korean, let me order all the food. I know what you'll like. Let me order everything. Just leave it to me and I'll do all the ordering. And we're like, okay, cool. And so the food was really nice. But he also ordered a drink, and I think it's called, I've kind of forgotten now, but it's like called sujo or something like that. It's a traditional Korean version of, I think, sake. It's like a rice wine type drink. I forgot what it's called now. Anyway, it's not really helpful for you. But, oh dear. It was nice, but it was like sake, but 1,000 times stronger. I was absolutely wasted. And the next day was like the living hell. It really was. And I was like, oh God, the food was fantastic, but that drink, it wiped us all out. Because we were all like, we didn't know. It was this place was new and we'd never been to a Korean restaurant before. And it was like, oh dear God. I can't remember what it's called. I've forgotten now. Oh, Annie McLeese says, I failed to mention that I had 14 of them. Well, yeah, well then that's going to cause you problems. That's not the quality of the beer, that's the volume, you spoon. Spoon. Asahi is a really nice beer, if you're having like one or two, or with food. But that's the only time I really drink any kind of fizzy lager crap, is if it's with a meal, like in a restaurant, and that's the option. Because often you'll find they've got like some fizzy lagers and beers, and then that you don't really get ales, and if you do, it's just like, I don't know, a tin of Guinness or something. It's a horrible thing. So he's like, you know what, I'll take the fizzy lager nonsense. Go on then. But things like Kingfisher and Cobra, they're kind of traditional anyway. Get your curry and a pint of Cobra, pint of Kingfisher. Yeah, it'll do. But I wouldn't drink fizzy lager in a pub. Dear God, no. It's like, let's go to the pub. Do they sell ales? No, then I'm not going to the pub. Somaik is sujo mixed with beer. Sujo, I think, is what we drank. Sujo. I thought it was sujo. Sujo. Doesn't sound right, though. Something like that. Muse says Somaik. Is that mixed with... Oh, God, I can't imagine mixing it with beer. Jesus. Crikey, Riley. That'd just destroy you for months. I mean, I was broken the whole next... I've never been so ill and hungover the next day. Crikey, Riley. Didn't even drink a lot. It was like 99% nonsense as well. I don't know, it wasn't really, but... Dangerous without food and in large amounts, Muse says. Yes. Well, we had the large amounts, but we had the food. It was like Korean Thai fusion. It was most interesting, most delightful food. But as is always the way with Thai and Korean food, the portions are always too small. I always want like a dirty, great big bowl full, and you don't get that. You get little delicate, and it's like, no, I want more. I want more of it. Give me all the foods. Sujo, most likely pronounced Suho, could be. This is Annie McLeish. I think it was that. It was just death in a bottle, and it was very nice. It was like really strong. I think, if I remember rightly, it wasn't a beer. It was a really strong sake type drink. Korean, I think. La 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 la. So that's the thing. If you've never been to a Korean restaurant and you suddenly have the option to go to one for the first time, but you happen to be with someone who is actually Korean, don't trust them an inch, because it's like going to a restaurant with a Russian who is like immune to vodka and strong spirits because they're Russian, but you aren't, and they'll be sitting there quite happily and you'll be absolutely broken. So just don't. Yeah. Don't do it. Or at least don't let them buy all the drinks. Just say, no, I'll have this beer, thank you very much, and that'll do me nicely. Suho. Could be Suho. Hang on, I will check. It was something like that. I can't remember. It's been a few years now. Something like that. I not remember. Good God, Fox, what are you, a child? I not remember. Right, that's all the bits cleaned up, I think. I'll have a swig of the tea. Italian beer is Birra Moretti, says Andy McLeish. Never had that. It's always Peroni wherever I go. Andy McLeish says Bella will be cheeseburgers, proper beef with cheese slices with hash browns. The Bev currently Monster, but with food it will be cherry Pepsi. Ooh, cherry Pepsi. Bill Cropper's in. Welcome, Bill Cropper. Who just randomly says sing. I don't quite know why. Welcome, Bill. Panzer Cat says belly, a turkey steak and egg rolls. HP sauce is obligatory and a mug of coffee. Bench T72. Peroni Libre, 0 alcohol, is delicious. Well worth a try, says Bill Cropper. Ooh, I might get some of that because I'd much rather Mama Fox didn't drink beer, just purely because she's wobbly on her feet anyway, and if she used to drink a lot of wine, and I managed to kind of get her off that because it was more just the worry of her falling over and being unsteady. So Peroni Libre, because she won't know, she won't be able to read the label. So Peroni Libre, I shall write that down on a post-it note, like I did the other thing, because I need to order more anyway, because she quite likes the Peroni. I was thinking about getting some alcohol-free beer. There we go. More things for me to do later. La la la, la 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 la. So I've got to check my titles, get some of that beer, and also find the torso of that Space Marine. Lordy, lordy. I think it is soju. Investigation complete. Soju pronounced Sauju or Soju. Soju. Is that Sauju or Soju? Okay, beverage update. Not Water Fox beer. Marston 61 Deep Pale Ale. There you go. Proper beer as well. Good lad. None of this fizzy lager nonsense. None of this Poncy Southern beer fizzy lager crap. Proper manly beer. Good lad. I've got to clean your backpack, haven't I? Clean your backpacks, lads. Knowledge level up. Hang on, I've got to do it. Let me get my phone. I just happen to have the relevant sound. Hang on. Let me just find the relevant one. Right, here you go. Persona 4 leveling up. There you go, done. Now I don't know which my ringtone, what my message tone was. No, that's the one. There we go. I had to change the sound to do that. I've got all the Persona 4 menu sounds on my phone. I used to have them for like message tones and stuff, but they weren't quite loud enough, and they got replaced by the Space 1999s. Diddle diddle ding. That's the Persona 4 leveling up sound. Now I've got to tell you, I can't wait for Persona 4 to come out on Xbox. Oh, I can't wait. I really can't wait. I really can't wait. Persona 5's coming out in October. And then Persona 4 and Persona 3 Portable are coming out after that, so probably next year. Really can't wait. Really can't wait. I got it on my Vita and started playing, because I'm playing it, and then I got it on PC because I was trying to figure out how I could stream it. But then, so I hadn't done that yet. I only played it a little bit because I didn't want to get too far in. If I stream it, I need to kind of, I'll be halfway through it. And then they said, right, we're going to release these 3 games on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm like, oh, Series S and X and PS5, and they do it on Switch, and the other 2 are coming to Steam. Persona 4 is already on there. Can't wait. So I can actually play Persona 4 on my console, which means I could theoretically stream it. I could stream it from the PC, but my PC is a bit shonky, and playing the game and streaming it at the same time might be a bit too much. Playing it on the Xbox. I was hoping to maybe do like a co-stream, so have me playing it and Festa watching, and just we can talk while I'm playing, but I can't quite figure out how to do that with my setup, so I'll be with you in a second. I'm just scraping away tiny little mould lines. Tiny mould lines. Scraping them away. I do find these backpacks easier to clean up or faster to clean up than the regular Primaris type ones. Not easier to clean up, but quicker. There's less fiddly nonsense. You haven't got all the buttons and things down the side to have to clean up around. It's quite a bit quicker to get these done. There's my mold line tool. Bit of that. Bit of that. I need to clean the tops of them. Gently. Where's my file? There is my file. There it is. Clean the tops, because the mould line goes across. Get me scribe. You know the routine. Get me scribey tool. I'll have a look at chat in a sec. I've seen something. Scribey tool to get rid of the mould line from within. Am I even on camera? Yes. Am I looking okay, by the way, and sounding okay? You're not getting any audio crackle and dropping out of the microphone again, are you? Is it sounding all right? There we go. That might have got rid of most of that. Let's just do a quick once over the top again. Okay. Touch of extra thin just to soften it. Clean up the scruffy bits. There we go. Looks nice and smooth. You would never know there was a mould line ever in there. There we go. That's how you do it, folks. There you go. This, for some reason I sounded like Dan rather than this is CBS. What about giving Mama Fox some Weissbrau, German zero alcohol beer? Bottle this it as a tonic. Could do. I've also got to make sure it's a small bottle. It's got to be like a little bottle, not a big massive bottle. Because she drinks it really slowly over the course of the night, but while she's drinking the beer, she's not drinking like tea or water or anything else, so I've got to keep a balance between staying hydrated. And hug the Fox, says Box Fox. Hey Box Fox, welcome. I'm doing a little work on the Torox conversion kit. My resin... I'll start again. I'm doing a little work on the Torox with conversion kit. My resin cat on a motorbike axle and speed breaker, along with whatever catches my eye, says Paul. Cool. Torox is good. I don't like the tracks on the Torox. I had to put wheels on mine, get the resin wheel kit. Yeah. Anne McLeese says, I so want to try those, but I don't have Korean anywhere near me unless I want to travel nearly 40 miles. And also he says, I spy a Box Fox. And Box Fox says, if we counted up all the time Fox spent with cleaning mould lines, we'll probably get a very sad fox and a large number. Yes. Yes. Who was cruel to put a fox in a box? Panda says it was all my... Well, I'm sure there's a Dr. Seuss thing in there somewhere. Box with the fox. The fox with the box. Get your bits out. Right, I'm going to very quickly just check my messaging and make sure I've not heard from Colin at all anywhere. No. I did message him earlier, but he's not even read that yet, so I think he's probably just asleep. Hopefully he's just asleep. If not, get well soon if you're not feeling very well, but hopefully he's just asleep. Paul Di Tommaso got the Zing Industries half-track conversion kit. Oh, cool. I kind of got the Death and Skulls, whatever it is, the 6-wheel kit, but after a while I thought, I wish I got the half-track conversion kit, really, because it looks a bit better. Yes. Right, so let's get this little puppy built-rooted. There was a Dr. Seuss thing about a fox in socks. There certainly was. Right, building. Can't talk, building. Right, so... Can't believe I lost the damn back on this. That's going to come back and bite me in the ass, isn't it, later? I can tell that. Because I'm not going to find it now. I'm going to empty out my trash bag and the box of the storage box under the bench and everything. I'm not going to find it. And I'm going to be completely knackered. And then I basically just have to buy an entire sprue just for one Space Marine. Back for one half of one Space Marine, which will be terrible, but you can see that's what's going to happen. You know that's going to happen. Give that a second. Now for the most boring pose in all of Warhammer. I like to call it Space Marine just kind of standing there. A little bit legs akimbo because perhaps he's got some chafage going on. He's a bit sweaty in there and he's got some kind of chafage and he can't quite stand straight because, ow. So he's just standing a bit legs akimbo. There we go, that's that. Give that a second to dry nicely. Bench and belly box, Fox, because you weren't here when I asked it. Bench and belly, what's on your bench? What's in your belly? What are you going to eat? A cup of tea. Right, let's get the back on. Get your back on. There's probably probably have somebody be selling packs of the backs. I'll have to get one off eBay or something if I can't find it. Somebody will have that. I don't know how they'd have one spare, but somebody will somewhere have a spare one. Probably, I hope. Let's move that glue over here so it's not banging around quite so much. As always, I do apologise if you get any loud banging noises, and purely because the microphone is on a mount. But unfortunately, the mount. Excuse me one sec. Sorry about that. The mount is actually attached to this workbench. There's nowhere else I can actually mount it, so every time I bang something down on the desk, it gets magnified through the microphone, so I do apologise. I try not to do that, but it's easy to forget. Squishage. Okay, give that a minute. La la la, Lynn Dipple's in. Hi Fox and Mama Fox hugs. Welcome Lynn, welcome, welcome. Box Fox says, nothing on the bench today unfortunately, but I'm having corn and shredded / salted pork. Oh, yeah. Lynn says hi to everybody. And Andy McLeish says, hey Lynn. Again, as yesterday, Lynn, congratulations on the new job. Or as you said on Friday. Well done. Congratulations. Let us know how you get on your first day. Why is this lid not going on? Right, what's next? Next we have the arms. Andy McLeish says, squish! Squish! Arm time. Oops. The lid is kind of sticking. It's gunked up in a little bit and yeah. Tiny touch of that with the biggest brush in the world. I think I need to, next time I use up my extra thin, I need to swap the brush round to have the extra thin brush in the fat glue bottle. For small application, I have one with the big brush for gluing big things. I have one with the small brush for gluing small things. Ooh. Andy McLeish, little anniversary thing there, saying Andy McLeish has been a member for 3 months. Be like me, be a member, be awesome. Yes, thank you, Andy, for the reminder. Yes, if you would like to support my channel because you're awesome, you can become a channel member or a patron. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru to become a patron. Or if you want to, you can become a channel member by just simply pressing the join button underneath any one of my videos. And you'll get a coloured name. Your name will be in a colour. You'll get a little icon next to your name that will change colour every month, every anniversary. And you get access to the live 24/7 off-air Zoom hangout, which is open for members and patrons of my channel and of Cole's channel over at Festa 67's workshop. Oh, that didn't go well. Do feel free. That's not lined up very well at all, is it? No, no. little bit higher on the arm there. There we go. There we go. Job's a good one. Everything is lined up perfectly. Now, I did say the other day, of course, you've always got the choice when you're building things like dudes with weapons. You've always got the choice of having the weapon not attached, so you can paint everything nicely. So you can get access to the chest and everything else. Ooh, Andy McLeish puts a super chat through. £2. Womble Marines led by the great uncool Bulgaria. I like that. Thank you very much for the super chat, Andy. It'll come up in a minute. There's a delay between the actual chat and the things. Thank you very, very much. That's very, very kind. Lynn says, thanks for Fox and everyone. Now back to packing. Oh, I just tried to put my telescope into my car and the new Pelican box won't fit. Bummer. Oh no. More than one trip perhaps. Yes, because you're moving back to Texas, aren't you? There you go. See? There you go. Thank you very much, dude. Much appreciatings. Yes, you're moving back to Texas, aren't you? Box Fox says, get to the papa. Paul Lewis says, my next build after the MHF Ferrari will be the Necromunda Care 8 Ridge Hauler and trailer, and both of which arrived on Friday. Is it Care 8 as in crate, do you think? Crate Ridge Hauler. Paul says, as soon as I win the lotto, I shall do that, Andy McLeish. Become a member. Thank you very much, Paul. I know you're going through a tough time at the moment. Box Fox says, sorry, Andy, but I'm saving for a laptop right now. Oh. It's optional. Nobody has to support me. It's just optional. Oh, I've not turned one of the lights on. Thought it was a bit dark. Idiot. Yes, back to Texas, says Lynn. And Lynn says, sorry, I can't. I'm moving. Yep, thank you to you guys. Big thank you to all my members and channel members and patrons. Especially right now, the way things are. I'm always very appreciative of that. It's not obligatory, of course. If it's something you can't do at the moment, don't panic. We still love you. You can always just make sure you like and subscribe. Click that notification bell. One thing you can do, if you're not able to like support a channel that you love through, say, Patreon or memberships or anything like that, you've always got the option of when the video comes up, make sure you let the adverts play all the way through. It's a nice little way you can support the content of creators that you enjoy, because of course it means they get the revenue from the ad then. All it takes is, it's a minute maybe. Instead of skipping through it, just let it play, and it massively helps out the creators that you enjoy their content. And if you've got an ad blocker, consider just when you want to go and say watch something on my channel or somebody else's channel, if somebody you enjoy, just consider turning that off just for that video. Let the ad play and then you can turn it back on again. It's just a great and free way to support the channels you enjoy, because it's how we make our money, how we make our living. And it's also funny sometimes, the adverts that you get based on the thing that you're watching. What was that I got the other day? I got something, an advert for something, and I can't remember what it was now. It was just no, it's gone. It just basically, it was an advert for something, and it was just basing it off one word in the title of the video, which is very weird because it was nothing to do with whatever the video was about. It's very strange. Right, so we'll get his backpack on, and then we'll do his head. Spiddy in. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all smashing and in rude health. So, Spid, welcome, Spid. Hope you're in rude health as well, my friend. Hope the coffee floweth over for you. But not seen you in here for a while, Spid. Nice to have you in. See, all kinds of people turn up when Colin's not here. Iron Man, Spid. He'll be getting a complex about it. You have to be careful. I've splooged some glue on his shoulder pad there, so I'll just brush it over to smooth it. I'll do his head in a second. Now I'll have a quick look at chat and then I'll do his head. Lynn, where are we? Cargo 8, says Paul Lewis. Lynn says belly, 3 donuts and milk. Bench being packed up. Ooh, milk. I like milk. Andy McLeish says, back to the land of longhorns and massive steaks, Lynn. What you going to do? Eat longhorns and massive steaks, I guess. Speedy Creator's popping in for a quick hi whilst he's roasting some fragrant Guatemala beans. PJ, you're auto-carroted. Pour me a mug spid, says Andy. Well, we're rude, but I don't know about health, says Andy. Yes. It's not roasted yet, Andy, and you'll have to fight me for the couple of mugs worth of last week's. Boxfort gets far-right religious extremist advertisements. That's not good. Sit and suffer it for a minute. It helps me out. Why would... It's weird. Oh, I know what it was. It was... I loaded up... I went into yesterday's stream to do a quick... just to watch it back, to check the audio. And because it says Age of Darkness, an advert came up for some video game with the word darkness in the title. It's like, wow, it's that literal sometimes, is it? Spid says, targeted ads are great. I got a couple for rubber skirts on Facebook yesterday. I truly don't know why I couldn't do rubber. The squeaking as I walk would be driving me mad. Audio out, says Andy McLeish. What? Audio what? Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me? Is that why you said audio out? I need you to tell me that, because I don't know. Let me check something. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, my meters are saying it's working. What's wrong with the audio? You have to be very careful when you say things like that, because your streamers are like, wait, what? Audio is okay, Foxy. Andy, what are you on about? Audio out. Hear you loud and clear. Is Andy just being a spoon? Audio out. Do I need to come over there and get medieval on your ass? Cup of tea. Can coffee jelly be considered jelly beans? I searched for the pup's food once. Now everything with adverts is about her food, says Muse. Exactly. Andy does a little trolling. Andy needs to get a slap. Yeah, a friend of mine was cursing me once because I somehow managed to I somehow convinced him to Google fleshlights because he didn't know what they were, and then from that point on, every time he did Google searches and things, it was like he's getting these adverts and he's like, I hate you. I said, yep, welcome to the internet. Static feed wireless earbuds kicked in. Dough. Oh, McLeish, sit on that step for 5 minutes. Don't come back till you've bought me some sort of sugary goods. When wearing earless headphones, always assume it's your fault. I don't know. Programming socks, says Box Fox. Leather, says Muse. I'm just going to move away from this conversation now. Right, head time. Well, did I just say that? Now, this is dude number 1. So the last time, I don't know which is... I need to line these up. I need to mark these so I know which is which. I want to make sure I don't get the same pose for the same guy each time. So, that should be number 1. I'm going to use these as a reference, you see. That's 1. This was pose number 2 was that one, I think. Oh no, pose number 2 was that one. Except it wasn't. Oh. My phone just vibrated. Why is my phone on mute? Pose number 2 is that one. That's number 2. Pose number 3. This is just so I know as I'm going forward. Excuse me. Which one's a which? That's 1. Pose number 3 is that one, which means that's pose number 5 and that's pose number 4. Right, there we go. It's just a way to avoid repetition, basically, because you only get 5 on a sprue and you only get 1 sprue. So 10 Marines, you got the same guys twice. It's like, so you've got to try and make it look not too uniform and repetitive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're doing 1. So he was looking to the left. So now for this one, I'll make him look to the right. I can make him look backwards. That'd be weird. You can't really look up or down though. This is a shame. Because if you make him look up, you just see the ball. That's not natural. So we'll have him looking to that side. And what I'll do now is, each time I do any of them, I'll just do it opposite to the last one of that one I did. So every time I do a 1, I'll do it one way or the other. One way or the other. Can't do that for copyright. There we go. So that's number 1. Cashier number 1, please. There we go. So this one, who's like pose number 2, he's looking a little bit forward to the left. I'll make him look a little bit forward to the right next time. Just varies it up nicely. Where are we up to? I'm not sure what the conversation talking about smells on gloves and things here. I'm stealing the term techno gremlin from an orc army. Excellent. I'm going to walk past all this thing about gloves and smelling. How's your new doggy doing, scale model Muse? Panzer says, Fox, can you not swap arm between figures? You probably could, actually. There's probably nothing stopping you doing that, I think. But that might confuse me. That might get very confusing. As long as you get the 2 arms and the hand, you're probably okay. As long as you match the arms to the gun. That's not a bad idea, actually. So, for example, you might have him, but with his up arm shooting. That's not a bad idea. She's doggying along, says Muse. Yeah, put more pictures in the boom hut, Muse. We always want doggo pics. Beavis and Butthead laugh, leather arm. Giggity giggity. That's not a bad idea, actually. Okay, well, let's do number 2. Now, number 2 is walking. And walking forward looks good with the weapon down there because it looks like you're busy walking and looking and not actually shooting. So it might be better to swap between the other 3 who are just stood there gormless. But then they're all kind of stood there gormless with the weapon at chest level, which is kind of not that interesting. There's probably no benefits, actually, because they're all kind of in the same pose. Yeah. Although walking forward with your gun up, shooting like that would be kind of cool. Well, he's got to look to the right anyway. To tell you what, let's take... well, who's next? Pose number 2. I'm doing thinking, you should all be scared. Pose number 2 is walking forward a bit. Unfortunately, they're all shooting to the right, which is a bit rude. Nobody shoots to the left in this part of the world. I think if I do him with his shooting later on. So for 2 and 4 are kind of the same pose anyway, almost, with the gun. So, yeah, we'll keep them as they are. Pose number 2, cashier number 2, please. Time are we on? 6:10. Probably go till about 7 o'clock. I don't want to do a long stream today. It's not the same without my buddy with me, so we'll just do a couple of hours. I'll just double check he's not messaged me. No. Oh. Hope he's alright. So, cashier number 2, we want... pose number 2 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, you could change the R's around. That's a very good point. I never thought of that because I'm an idiot, but I never thought of that. But yes, you could do. I think they've all got the same basic attachment points, and if you needed to, you could take them off anyway. It's not the end of the world. That was completely the wrong part. What are you doing? I wanted 7, 8, 9, not... Okay, we're doing that one then, are we? Okay, so now we're doing pose 4 because I cut the wrong bit off. Okay. So pose 4 is that one. Never mind. I did the wrong thing, Mum. Yeah. Oh, so it's 20, 21 and 19. 19. We've done 20, 19, 21. Okay, we jumped ahead and we're doing pose number 4. 22, 23, 24. That's fairly obvious. They have been very good and actually grouped all the bits together in this on these sprues for the most part, which is much better than they normally do, so I can't fault them for that. We need head number 42. I'm pretty sure you can swap all the heads around as you want, but it doesn't really matter. I think they're all the same. But it makes life less confusing if you just stick to the right ones, I guess. 42. We will need an pauldron of happiness, or not happiness. We'll need pauldron number 37. 37. Yeah. I'll need my earpiece not to get stuck in the sprue. And backpack we've got on there to be cleaned up. I think that's everything. Yes. So we'll do this one as a regular number 4. Because like 2 and 4, they're very similar. There's no point trying to swap them up, really. Let me get my white pen again. So this will be number 4. Cashier number 4, please. And my plan is with this, by the way, because I'm going to paint them all as one lead. I'm going to paint them all as space wolves. What I'm going to do is, obviously I'm aiming it at somebody who's going to buy it to have it as all one army, because I think it'll sell much better as one army than as 2. Because if I'm going to spend all that money on something and not be able to use half of it, it's a bit rubbish. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to paint the bases in such a way that you can still split them. If you wanted to play with your mate, but he hasn't got anything, you can still split him in 2. So what I'll do is, going off what's in the box. All on the box are all the ones that are Imperial Fists. I'll paint with a black rim base, and all the ones that are the Sons of Horus, I'll paint with a brown rim base. So they'll all be Space Wolves, but then whoever buys this, they've got all these Space Wolves. If they want to have a 2-player game with someone, they want to split them apart, they can just pretend that the ones with the brown are some other legion, and you know, they can then say, right, well, mine are Imperial Fists and yours are Sons of Horus, or whatever the legion they want to play. But they can easily identify them and split them apart then to play them separately. Because I could paint them 2 separate legions, but I don't think somebody's going to spend all that money to buy a legion they can play and a legion they've got no use for. So, yeah. At least this way they can do that. Lynn says, where is your sidekick resting, I hope? We don't know. We don't know at all, because Dave hadn't heard from him. Didn't do his stream today, and Dave hasn't heard from him. I haven't heard from him. So we assume he's perhaps just slept in. We're hoping it's just that maybe he's not had a good night of sleep and H has given him a Mickey Finn to zonk him out. Or maybe accidentally stayed at the bench for like 12 hours and she's had to give him a Mickey to zonk him out. He's probably just sleeping it off. Hopefully, anyway. Annie McLeese says, oh no, I just got a Reddit notification from What Could Go Wrong entitled Poking a Porcupine. Yeah, right away the wincing. Ow. I want to see pics, Muse. And Andy McLeese says, oh, Muse, a cutesy floof. Box Fox, so hang on, do you have a group ignoring the Discord that is dead? Yes, there's the Model Makers Boom Hut on Facebook. I shall post a link for you. Give me 1 second. 1 sec, I shall post it in the very chat for you. Stand by. La la la. There you go, and it is posted. Yeah, Model Making Boom Hut. Model Makers Boom Hut. It's a completely safe environment on Facebook. Anyone's welcome to at any skill level. It's just a place to post your work, get feedback, get support. You can help other people out. Just a nice, friendly place. Make sure you do read the rules and regs, because there are rules and regs. No selling and stuff like that. No politics and religion, but it's a nice, friendly group. There's over 4,000 people in there, just about. So go and join up. You can post stuff and see other people's work. It's all jolly good. Right, let me just get me... Which one are we doing? Okay. I think we can assemble 8. Cashier number 4. Well, no, I've got to clean up first, you spoon. Loads of clean up to do on this one. La, 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 la. Post cute pet pictures. Yeah, you're also allowed to post cute pet pictures. Obviously of your own pet. We have puppers, we have kitty cats, we even have a possum called... Oh, what's the opossum called? I've forgotten what it's called now. Is it like Max or Alvin or something? He's quite cute. Speedy Crate was catching up. He was juggling hot beans. Hot beans! They're a bit toasty when you decant them, about 240 to 50 degrees. Wow. Box Fox snaps Space Marines off the sprue with bare hands. Fox admitting to doing something wrong, says Andy McLeish. Great Scott! Great Scott! Marty! Marty! As an independent hutter, I can confirm it is the best model making group on Facebook, says Spid. Thank you very much. I'm just listening out for Mama Fox because they're moving around. If you wonder why I keep going quiet. Just making sure she's okay. I think she's checking for mail in the front door. Bless her. Right, let's get some shizzle cleaned up. Clean your shizzle. La, 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 la. I guess people are looking at the pictures of the animal that I can't quite see right now. Never mind. Oh. Oh. Get the big bits off first. Get your big bits off. Mama Fox is being very good today, so she definitely gets a beer with the dinner. Anyway, yes, running out of things to talk about, so please do ask me questions in chat. No religion, no politics, but most other things are fair game. Nothing really to talk about. I've not played any video games for a few days because I've been cracking on with this lot, so can't really give you much information on them. Still looking forward to Starfield. Oh, what am I ever? Starfield. Got to wait till next year now. Oh. But then again, it means they get more time to make it awesome. Yes. So I don't mind so much. Ooh, Paul Lewis, £5. Have coins, Fox, will be more, but wrong end of the month. Sigh. Paul Lewis, that is awesome. Thank you very much. All coins are awesome coins. You are very, very kind, and I love you dearly. Big hugs and all that. Thank you very, very much. You're a lovely fella. It's not true what they say about you. It really isn't. I don't listen to them when they say those things. You're a lovely fella. You're a lovely little fella. Lovely. Thank you very much. That will help massively. Thank you. The barrel to drill. Drill out your barrels. Spid, yes, and Java the Hutt UB, says Anna McLeish. So yeah, Box Fox, make sure you join the Model Makers Boom Hut. You will have to be, well, depending on your Facebook profile, sometimes you're automatically straight in, but if sometimes it needs someone to just okay it. So don't worry if you're not in straight away. It might just be it needs to be manually approved. Sometimes it does you automatically, but I can't remember what the criteria are. So drilling a hole, drilling a hole, drilling a hole, bomb. I've boshed up this one as well. Last few days I've been doing these barrels and I've been spot on every one almost, but these last couple I've just been a bit off to one side. I failed miserably. I hate Facebook. Yee! I will use it for the group begrudgingly whilst angrily grow. Don't forget, a lot of people don't like Facebook, and I understand that completely. But some people, what they've done is they've just set up a profile. You don't have to actually set up a profile with all your real information. You can just set up a made-up profile. Just to access the group. You don't have to give Facebook your real information. And then just, I mean, I don't use Facebook. I've got a personal profile, but I almost never use it because I have no interest in it, because I can't stand Facebook. But Facebook groups are kind of a necessary evil, unfortunately. There's no other way to build a nice social group without spending money on forum software and servers, so that's not going to happen. So it's an easy way for me to build a community. You'll like it, trust me. It can go a bit quiet sometimes, but whenever you ask for people for help, as long as you're polite and nice and stuff, you'll be spot on. No spam, no selling and buying, all that kind of... You make sure you read the rules, because they're all fairly straightforward. No buying and selling, no spam. It's a no bullying, no snark zone. We don't tolerate people being snarky, and we have removed people from the group who've been snarky, so you're safe from anybody that's going to sit there and say, oh, your work's crap. Yeah, we don't tolerate that. Somebody once posted a picture up of some work they'd done. And one of them, a member in the community, was like, wow, that's crap. He was swiftly removed. It's not the kind of feedback we want people to get. We're all about encouraging builders, you see, and crafty, creative people. And I understand that, you know, some people have lots of talent, some people have none, some people are just starting out and haven't learned how to do things yet. So, that's what I say, we go for all levels of skill, so it's all about friendly, constructive feedback. So you can feel fairly safe. You're not going to get... It's not like some other groups, which I won't mention, and you won't mention in chat. Some other groups where it's quite harsh. If you're not like a master model maker, you just get your ass handed to you by the feedback. It's like, no, we don't want that. It's like when you go to play, if you go to play, if you're new to Warhammer and you go and play your first game, and the guy that plays you just tries to whoop your ass and treats you like you're rubbish, you're never going to go back and play again. Same with creative things. We all start out crap and we all get better. Nobody starts out making amazing models. Well, very few people. I know a couple of people that have, and I hate them completely. I don't really. But yes, most people start out bad, and then they learn, and then they get better. And that's kind of understood. That's the mantra of the boom hut. The nipple says, underneath the R. It's not the same when I don't get the response. How good do you think the new Rob Zombie The Munsters film will be? Asked Paul Di Tommaso. I have no interest in that. I can't stand the Munsters. Or any of those kind of like 1960s comedies. I can't. So I have no opinion on that matter. But chat, please indulge yourselves. Deep dislike of those kind of 1950s and 60s American comedy. I don't know why. They just make me really angry. I don't know why. It's not just American stuff. Like Grange Hill has the same effect. Here in the UK, Grange Hill. Just when I was a kid, I'd be like, I'd run out of the room, angry. I don't know why. I'm weird. Paul Di Tommaso says, wait, what? Candygram says, thanks to Speedy Curate's channel, my interest in mechanical watches has now become a full-blown obsession. There you go, see? Annie McLeish goes, cheers, to answer. Underneath the R. Cheers. You'll always find me and Cole underneath the arches somewhere. But not drunk on White Lightning, because he doesn't drink and I can't stand cider. I'm filled with intrigue and dread at the same time. Yeah, Andy McLeish says the boom hut is also safe from the... I think you'll find that I hate the rivet counting. It's another thing I hate. Like, somebody spends hours and hours building and painting, let's say, I don't know, a World War II tank. And they're doing it because this is a hobby we all do for fun. We do it for the fun. We're grown men making toy soldiers. Come on, and grown women making toy soldiers. Not really anything you can take seriously. And I've seen people put loads and hours and hours and hours of work into something, and it looks like it's a beautifully painted model. Say a tank, for example. And there's always some schmuck that comes along and says, I think you'll find that in 1943, that particular Panzer did not have a blue fire extinguisher on the back, and that was not until 1945 when they made that, and they just get banned. I have no tolerance for them. I don't ever want to do that voice ever again. That was not a good voice. Yeah. Unless somebody says they are specifically trying to paint it as accurate as possible to the real source material, then there's ways to say, that looks amazing, that's brilliant. Are you sure that those fire extinguishers are that colour though? I'm not convinced. Or whatever. There's ways to do it. But if somebody doesn't say they're trying to make it as accurate as possible, then don't assume that they are. Yeah, they don't last long either. Speedy Kuwait rubs hands together. Excellent, he says. We also don't tolerate tea drinkers in the boom hut. Ignore the man behind the Spid. Spid speaks for himself and himself only. I am a tea drinker now. I used to be a coffee drinker, but now because of high blood pressure, I'm a tea drinker. I know it sounds weird. So we do tolerate tea drinkers in the boom hut because it's my boom hut. It's my house. See, Speedy Curate wouldn't even tolerate coffee drinkers if they just drank instant. He counts that as tea drinkers. And he says, oh, no, wait, no, that's the other group. And Paul Lewis says, I think you'll find, you might be right, Andy, but you knew that already. Spid says, given Rob Zombie's tech record, that could be an interesting take on a daytime comedy show with horror characters. Muse says, I hope he doesn't ruin it. I love the Munsters. Spid says, on Telebox related shenanigans, are there any Umbrella Academy fans in here, and how amazing was season 3? Never even watched it. Don't even know what it is. I did love his House of 1,000 Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and his take on Halloween, but I'm now ready to hit the eject button with the Munsters. Muse says, it's one thing if it's a museum replica, but most are not. Rivet counters suck ass. Yes, they do. At the end of the day, unless you are, this is my point as well, my feeling, unless you are specifically employed as a professional to make an historically accurate to the rivet replica of something for some reason, like for example a museum replica, then unless that's your job and you do it for a living and that's what you're paid to do, then basically you're a middle-aged bloke or girl, may not be middle-aged, most of us are middle-aged, let's just be honest, a middle-aged bloke or girl making little toy plastic soldiers for the fun of it. When you see it like that, there is no way to take this seriously at all. And people that take this hobby seriously who are not paid professionals doing it for a living, they're just sad. They're just sad. I've got no time for them. Look at me. I'm a hairy arse, middle-aged bloke. I'm 50. And I'm sitting here making little tiny plastic soldiers. Do I really care if you know, this tank that I've made, this Churchill Mark II actually had those marks? No. I'm doing it because it's fun, not because I'm making a museum replica. Now, technically, I am a professional because I do it as a business and I get paid for it. So, but I'm not a professional, if you know what I mean. I'm not somebody making a model for a museum. So, although I'm a professional model maker because I do it for a living, that's another thing. Don't confuse professional with good quality. That's not really helping myself there and now. I don't sound like I'm dissing myself. Don't assume because someone says something's professionally painted, it means it's well painted. Professional just means you do it for a living. You do it to earn an income. In my case, it's my actual business. Model Making Guru is an actual business. So that's what I do for a living. That's why I'm a professional. Now, in a lot of ways, it's good that most people think professional means good quality, because then it means they think, look at my stuff and go, oh, he's clearly professional, therefore I can spend all that money buying his model. Yeah, thank you very much. But it does mean that when I go on eBay and put something up for sale and say it's professionally painted, unfortunately, the phrase is so watered down by everybody that just puts pro painted on their models, especially when, oh, there's some stuff on there. There's a whole Reddit group devoted to taking the mickey out of things that are described as pro-painted when they're clearly not. They're clearly painted with half a potato and a dead cat. So unfortunately, that phrase has become so watered down and neutered that it makes it quite hard to actually say, look, I really am a professional painter because I'm doing it for a living. But hey, what can you do? Deal with the cards that you're dealt. So yeah, so at the end of the day, we're old people making toy plastic soldiers. There's nothing serious about this hobby. That's why it's also important to keep that in mind when something goes wrong. When you're making a model and maybe your build comes out a bit rubbish, or you're not happy with how it's turned out, or the paint job goes wrong, or you make a mess of something, or you break something, don't lose sleep over it. It's a toy. You're making a toy. If it goes completely wrong, if it's a miniature, you can always stick it in the Dettol and strip all the paint off and start again. Is it a pain in the arse? Yeah, but you get to paint it all again, and painting's fun. And if it really is something unrecoverable, if you're building a U-boat and you snap it in half, as I nearly once did, then okay, you can't really recover that, really. So yes, it's upsetting that you just bought this like 70 quid U-boat kit and now you've broken it. You put all that work into it. Yes, it's upsetting, but it's not the end of the world. You'll buy more kits. There'll be more kits to build. In the great scheme of things, it's just a fun hobby. So yeah, don't take things too seriously. And that's one of the golden rules in the Boom Hut. Don't take it too seriously. We're just men making we're just people. I must stop saying men. We're just people making toy soldiers, for the most part. All just silly, good fun. And that's what I try to encourage in the Boom Hut. It's why we allow, you know, a certain amount of off-topic posting, like silly memes and stuff. Not all the time. Like if somebody just sits there and constantly posts up annoying memes all day long, then they'll probably be warned and kicked out if they keep doing it. But occasionally the odd thing there and now and then off-topic. It's allowed. I have had people complain, oh, there's off-topic posts, and it's like, well, we're not like, you know, enforcing boring conversations on people. It's supposed to be a fun community. You talk to your mates in the pub. Do you just sit there and talk about the news? No. Talk about all kinds of things. Just have a look at chat in a moment. I can see it's been moving. Moving. Rawhide. Yes, I might just get a couple done. Get this guy done and then maybe call it a day for today. So it's not the same without my sidekick, so... Well, I don't know who's the sidekick. Am I the sidekick or is he the sidekick? So on my show, he's the sidekick. On his show, I'm the sidekick. So we're both the sidekick. Let me just get this backpack cleaned and then I'll be with you. Yeah, so there's plenty of groups and forums that I've been member of, but it's all so serious. Oh God, it's taken so seriously. And if somebody puts up a picture of work that isn't like museum quality, they just get their ass handed to them. And it's like, that's no way to ever even begin to encourage a new or first time builder. Come on, I've seen people actually say really nasty things to first time. This is my first ever model. Well, it's crap, isn't it? Yeah, and then they're never going to make a model ever again. So I try and teach people that not everyone's like that. There's no place for that in the Boom Hut. And I'm really proud of the people in the Boom Hut. Because for the most part, yeah, there's been one or two things happen over the years, but you're never going to get away from it completely. But for the most part, everyone in there has been lovely, sensible, and it's been a good place. We've kicked a few people out, we've banned a few people for various things over the years, but you're going to get that anyway in a Facebook group. It's a no drama group. Facebook's known, and groups and forums are always known for their drama and dramatic nonsense. We don't tolerate that. There's none of that. I want you to come in, have a good time, chill out, hang around. Right. Backpack. Hold it up to the light. Looks reasonably clean. Still got a bit of a... sometimes it's quite tricky. You can clean out the mould line in the gaps. I'm not even on camera. You can clean out the mould line in the gaps with your scribing tool. You can scrape away the mould line off the top of the ribs there with your blade or your scraping tool, but you sometimes still get a little bit of a lump on the inside, on the sides of the raised bit, where it's not quite straight. Fortunately, it's really hard to get rid of that. But once that's been painted, like a bronze colour, and it's got like a dark brown wash in the gaps, you won't see any of that. You won't see it if it's not on camera either. God, Fox, you're such an idiot. Yeah, so once we get a dark wash in there, you might see it looks like there's a little bit of a lump in the middle, but there's not. It's just where it's kind of like that on the vertical walls, and I can't quite get rid of that. So, but that'll hide. Once we get it painted, it'll go away. Go away! Right, where are we? Fox, I recommend it's season 3 wrapped up and it's still as good as when it started, says Spid. Wait, what are we talking about? Okay, what is it? What's it about? If it's horror, I don't do horror. I find horror very boring. I don't know what Umbrella Academy is about. It's awesome because a lot of it is filmed here in my hometown, says Paul Di Tommaso. Yes. Annie McLeish says, historically accurate equals hysterically inaccurate stupidity. Yes. Annie McLeish, get it right, it's fantastic, Mr. Fox, says he to Spid. Or others who share none of their work and say negative things about, oh yeah, that bugs me. When people, they're all very vocal about, well, you know, criticising other people's work, yet there's always one that does that and then never posts anything up. Now, it's absolutely fine to be in the boom hut and never post up any of your own work. You don't have to. You can just be part of the community and have a laugh in the comments of things, and you can, you know, talk about stuff. You don't have to post your own work up. Maybe you don't, you know, there's different people in there that do different things. But yeah, people that go in and they lay down their opinion about why this is good or why your work is not good and why this is wrong and why that. It's like, well, hang on. You're saying this, but we've never seen your work. Why don't you show us how it's done? Or get more... This is when they're not being constructive. If they're giving constructive criticism in a good way, and if they're being positive with their criticism, like saying, that looks... You know, they might say, that looks really good. You've done really well. I really like how you've painted that particular bit on the base. However, you might not know this, but did you know that if you use this specific paint, you might be able to get this effect a bit better than you've already got it. That's constructive criticism. That's saying you've done this thing, it's not that great, there's a better way of doing it, here's how you do it. And you don't make somebody feel like they don't know what they're doing, because everybody knows they're on a learning journey. If you're going to criticise by teaching. Don't just say, that's rubbish, it looks like gash. So people that do that, and you know, they just give the snark, and then they don't last long. But you don't need to actually show your work at all, ever. You don't need to. It's not compulsory. I think you'll find, says Paul Lewis, those Space Marines are the wrong tint of grey. Bang forehead on desk. The Marston's 61 Deep Pale Ale is really jolly nice. Must buy more. Yeah. Lynn says, my internet is back. What did I miss? Nothing. Just waffling. Paul says they have police on site when filming. You can't get near them. The ones who spend $35 or less on a small piece and ask for $500 US for it. Bit much, in my opinion, for just painting it, says Muse. Oi. No. At the end of the day, if I spent 100 hours painting this dude, just this one dude, so I could buy that for like $2. If I spent 100 hours painting this dude, if I was to charge minimum wage in the UK, that would be £800. Because minimum wage is about £8 an hour. So if I was to paint that one dude and like charge 50 quid for it, I'm working at like 10p an hour, which is below even McDonald's rates. So the actual cost of painted things should really be, at the very least, minimum wage times number of hours spent doing it, which is why you get the high prices. That's professionally how you should do it. It's a certain amount per hour, your hourly rate times the number of hours you spend. Now, I'm not like, you know, a legendary painter, so I can't charge ridiculous amounts of money. I can't really even charge minimum wage because I'm still not, you know, well known. So technically, when I'm putting things up for sale, I'm actually undercharging because I'm not charging even minimum wage for my stuff. So yeah, so you will see expensive stuff, but you're not paying for. When it comes to buying a painted piece, a painted model, you kind of have to ignore the cost of the kit, because it could be a £5 kit, but they put 250 hours into painting it. asking minimum wage is not a big an ask. But yeah, there are people that put on things on eBay that are really not well painted, and they've put like 5 hours into it, and they're asking for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Like, no, that's taking the mickey. A lot of the commission places where the companies that do commission painting for you, you order this and they paint it. A lot of them are way overpriced for what they are. I've seen them on. I'm not going to name names, but there are some where you see it on eBay and you're like, oh, really? That much for that? I could do that in like 5 hours. That's no, yeah. I was briefly in a model critique group. What a joke. It was a handful of mutual backslappers attaboying each other and picking pics from other groups to say the nastiest things they could about. Yeah, we don't want interested in that. If that takes 100 hours, you're in the wrong field, lol, says Muse. Yeah, I know. I'm using it as a ridiculous example. If I take a model, not just one dude, but if I take a model and spend 100 hours painting it, then anything less than 800 quid would be less than minimum wage. And it's like, would you go to your boss? Would you be happy if your boss paid you less than minimum wage? Think about it. If you do it for a business, if I'm doing it as a business, theoretically, should I at least be charging minimum wage? I don't, but I should be. It can take, you can put like a big perfect grade Millennium Falcon can be easily more than 100 hours with the build. Not perfect grade, like a fine molds Millennium Falcon can easily be 20 or 30 hours just to build it, and then for the painting as well. So. And you've got the materials and costs. So high prices for painted works it's art. It's no different to a normal art. But you've got to take in the amount of hours. You've got to hope that the artist is honest about the number of hours. I track how many hours I spend doing stuff. So yeah, for example, this entire box set. If I was to get all this box set and all the Marines and the tank and everything painted 100 hours, I could charge 800 quid for it. Which is not much more than I charge for my Bane blade. But, I'm probably not going to do that because, I don't know. It's one of those difficult things, but at the end of the day, the artist has got to ask for, recompense for his work. And a lot of people don't realise that. Which is why when I was doing commissions, one of the most common things would be, hello, how much would it cost me to get you to paint this kit? It costs you £500. Really? Because the kit's only worth 20. It will take me 100. It will take me 100 hours, and I'll charge you £5 an hour, which is less than minimum wage. It'll cost you £500. Oh, okay, they're not interested. Bye. Yeah, you learn to filter them out quite quickly. The kind of people that think you can build and paint a kit for 50 or 60 quid. No, I couldn't even build the kit for 50 quid. Yes. But I don't even charge that. I say I'm not an established, famous model builder, so I can't really charge big fat numbers. I can barely even charge minimum wage for my hours. Yes. Every model varies, but I'll always base it on the actual hours I've spent doing it. Sometimes with a model, if I think I can ask for more, I will. It's always worth a try, because you never know. It might be that a model's in such demand that you can ask for more, either more towards minimum wage or more than minimum wage. At the end of the day, it's a piece of art. A piece of art is worth as much as somebody's prepared to pay for it. So, I'll never begrudge someone asking a high price for their piece of art. It's just, you need to know that, you need to trust the artist that the actual amount of work you're paying for is there. And like I say, you look at some of these like commission service, you get them on eBay, and I hate these things where it says, here's this model for sale, but when you read the blurb it's saying we will paint it to this standard. If you see a model and it's got a picture and it's like, but it says 1 of 10, you're like, okay, so it's a commission painting service then. You order a one and painted, so you never get to see what you're actually buying for a start. The one in the photograph isn't necessarily indicative of what you actually get, because that's just an example. And then they bug me then, because you, as a seller, as a creative, you go onto eBay and look at what other people are selling, and it may well be that they've put some absolute piece of crap up there that looks terrible, and they're charging a ridiculously high price for it, and then it gets people really angered because people think it's all a rip-off. So when somebody puts up a really nice piece of work they spent a long time doing and asks for a high price, it kind of invalidates it. Or the other thing is, they put up a really beautifully painted model and ask for a low price. But then when you get that model, because you've paid, like they might put up a model that looks like it's had, let's say again, 100 hours spent on it. Again, I'm using the British minimum wage here. So they put up a picture of a model that looks like it's had hundreds of hours spent on it. Looks amazing. And they say 500 quid, which is below minimum wage. And then when you get the model you've ordered, it's not painted anything as good as like in the photograph on eBay. It's a half-ass paint job that they've rattled out in as quickly as possible because you've only paid 500 quid. And they've got a guy painting 10 of these a day. But then that's in people's minds that that level of work is worth 500 quid when it's actually probably worth twice that or more depending on how many hours it's taken. So yeah, it's pricing stuff is really hard. As an artist, it's hard to know what to ask for because you want to get a fair pay for your work. Like I say, would you be happy if your boss offered you half minimum wage? You probably wouldn't. But at the same time, you've got to price it in such a way that you know what people are prepared to pay for it. Quite tricky. Quite tricky. Hey. Where are we up to? You're buying art. A $10 canvas can have a multi-$1,000 painting applied to it. True. Right, but I'm talking about super cheap and super simple pieces. It still kind of applies. Because again, when you're buying a piece of custom art, you're not really paying for the model that's underneath it. You're paying for the work that's gone into making it look like it does. Really. That's why you could have a single Space Marine selling for £5 on one sale and £100 on another, because it's, if somebody's, it's the amount of work and the reputation of the artist. If I painted a Space Marine and I got Duncan Rhodes to paint exactly the same Space Marine, he could probably ask for a lot more than I could because of reputation and skill level and everything else. Art is very intangible and hard to get your head around sometimes. It's kind of instinctive to say, well, this kit's only worth £5. Why am I paying 150 quid for it? Because you pay for the work. It's a mistake that a lot of people, when they contact you for commissions, do a lot. Smitty creates. So, Umbrella Academy synopsis. Some kids are born inexplicably, one-day pregnancy, virgin birth scenario. They have various powers. Wealthy, oil, eccentric, adopts 7, trains them to be superheroes, is a terrible father. They become massively dysfunctional family who drift apart, and in season 1 they're reunited in minutes, minus one who died and one who disappeared in time. It doesn't really... That's not really floating my boat. I might give it a try. Right, it's not really floating my boat. I can let my dog walk on a canvas and some fool will pay a top dollar for it. Absolutely. Absolutely, that's the point. Art is what the buyer... It's all about what the buyer is prepared to pay for it. And when it comes to art, that could be anything. But at the end of the day, it's about the artist getting fair pay for the work they've done. And like I say, for me, it's frustrating knowing that I can't even ask for minimum wage for the number of hours I put into a build. But at the moment, it's untenable for me to ask that because I'm not like a mega famous artist with that kind of cachet to my name. So it's not that easy. I'd love to be able to ask for that. It's £35 an hour, and it took me 200 hours to build it and paint it. There you go. What time are we on? 51. Ooh, nearly home time. Get this arm cleaned up. I shall come back to chat in a second. Yeah, it doesn't sound particularly enticing to me, Spid. I'll give it a go. If they're all like bratty teenagers, then I'll have even less interest in it. It's like I loved Agents from S.H.I.E.L.D., but I didn't enjoy the Inhumans because it was terrible. Yeah. La 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 la. I joined the Facebook group. Is it okay to have my number hidden? I really don't want people calling me. Oh no, you don't have your phone number ever exposed on Facebook. Just on your personal profile, nothing needs to be exposed at all. Don't ever give your phone number out. Never put your phone number or email or anything on Facebook anywhere. Just when you set up your profile, just set up, Bob Smith or whatever you want yourself to be called, and just, you don't have to put the only reason you put your phone book in Facebook, that you probably want to put the right one in Facebook, is sometimes if you try and log in and it fails, they can send you like an authorizer. If you try and log in, it'll say, we've sent you a code to your mobile, type in the code here. That's the only reason you want to put your real email and phone book on Facebook. But no, just have everything in your profile hidden, because if you're not going to use it for social media as your personal self, then it doesn't really matter. As long as your profile isn't completely private, because moderators in the Boom Hut might need to click on your profile to send you a message at some point. But if we click on your profile and it says you can't see this profile because it's hidden, we'd boot you out till you made it available. So make sure your profile's available and not hidden, but keep all your personal information secreted away, and just don't give anything out on Facebook ever. Paul Lewis says, can't type eating, damn it, done it again. Speedy Kuwait says, dog on canvas, would that be a Jackson Porlock? Oh, you get 10 points for that. Annie McLeish says, dog on canvas, a Barksy. Oh. Paul Di Tommaso, but Fox, you're an award-winning modeller. Not anymore. I won't go into that, but yeah, it didn't last long. Technically I am. Sort of. It's hard to explain more without spoiling some of the plot points. Try a couple of episodes. It's a mix of good story, great casting and acting, and superheroes that are not anything like superheroes. They're all adults except 5 mostly, but that'll be revealed. Okay. And there's a cool chimp called Pogo. Oh God, there's a chimp. Am I getting? That doesn't sound. I'm getting like time tunnel Lost in Space vibes now. You're pushing me further away from it. A chimp. Really? Really? That is a sentence that cool and chimp should never be words that go into... No. Lynn says, internet crashed again. I hope the internet in Weatherford is better. Yes, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. Right, we've got all the bits cleaned up. Let's do some gluitations. Gluularity. And then we'll do some buggering off and making dinner. Ooh. The chimp is hyper intelligent. You're still not making me want to watch it. You're giving me 19... I've got the backpack. I've done the backpack. You're giving me 1960s sitcom vibes. It's just not helping. I'd just give up if I were you. Right. The moment you say there's a endearing animal involved. No, because I'm just getting Moffat from Battlestar Galactica vibes. It's not happening. Moffat. God, that damn thing. Well, any time there's been a programme with a cute animal companion that you just know, you're getting like Scrappy-Doo moment. It's like a Scrappy-Doo thing. Not interested in that. Yes. Candy Graham says, wait, there's a chimp. I'm in. Candy Graham, you're so easily pleased. You're such a man of little taste. I thought it was about something to do with Resident Evil or something. They were Umbrella Academy. Clearly I was incorrect. Paul Lewis says, you lost me at Umbrella. Yeah, I'm very picky. I'm actually watching back through The Orville at the minute. Because I'm watching season 3, and I watched season 1 and 2, but it's just come back on. It's just appeared on Disney Plus, which is awesome. So I wasn't able to watch it. I watched season 1 and 2 back in the day through various nefarious means that are no longer available. But it's just come onto Disney, so I'm watching back through The Orville as I'm season 1 and 2 while I'm watching season 3. So that'll keep me going for a couple of weeks. But once I watch The Orville, then I'm stuck again for things to watch. So sadly, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but like most TV series, I watch them, and then if I leave it for 2 or 3 years and I go back and watch it again, I've kind of forgotten lots of things, and I can watch it with fresh eyes because I forget a lot of like the plot points or the whatever happens. Like I watched House, and then I watched House again about 2 years later, and I'd forgotten all of it. I didn't remember any of it, which is great. But for some reason, Stargate SG-1, I remember everything about every episode. Maybe not without watching the episode. As soon as I start the episode playing, I'm like, oh no, wait, this is the one with that guy and I can't watch. If I know what's happening, sometimes I can't watch it. And SG1 is my favourite thing in the world, and I find it really hard to go back and watch it again just because it's not brand new. Which reminds me, I must clean the joints on this chap that I did earlier on that I haven't cleaned yet. Now they've had a chance to dry. Just clean up the little joint on his belt so it doesn't look as obvious, where I squished it together. The joint on his armour, if you can't get to it, you can kind of get away with saying it's just an armour panel joint. But on the belt, I like to clean up that joint and make it go away, because a belt shouldn't have a gap in the middle. So I just make sure that when I attach it together, I squish some of the plastic and glue out, and then a bit of dampening of extra thin once I've scraped it away, and the joint is gone. I might not be able to get rid of it on his armour, but you can't really see that with the arm in place anyway. There you go. Right, so that's that bit done. Nearly knocked me glue over. Okay, so it's not okay. Oh no, it's not endearing cutesy nonsense. This chimp will something. It jumped. We'll give you a dressing down and bitch slap you if necessary. It's impossible to pigeonhole. It's apparently based on a comic book, but it's very addictive and a great story. I'll give it a try. Fox, why don't you watch Reacher on Amazon? I don't know what Reacher is. What's Reacher? Do you mean Preacher? I've no idea what Preacher is. I've seen Preacher, I've no idea what it is. Or do you mean, is that a suggestion? Why don't I watch Preacher? Or is it Reacher? I don't know. I was put off when I found out it was created by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance. I was like, nope, but then I watched it and I was like, despite him being an emo fuzz muppet, this is good, says Andy McLeish. Fox, I've got a solution, just get a concussion, then you can watch Stargate again. It's like completely new. Oh, there's an idea. K. Nico Aranz is in. Hi Fox, it's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. Wow, it's been a long time. Welcome back, buddy. I've not seen you for a long time. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you are well. Everybody in chat, please welcome Nico back. K. Nico Aranz. See now, a friend loved House, but for me it was Diagnosis. It's this thing. What? It's not this thing. Let's try 50 other possibilities. No, it was the thing all along. Yeah, but the thing with House and the thing, what I love is not, and this is normally what determines whether I like a TV show or not. It's, for me, it's about the ensemble characters and how they all interact and what they do. It's not necessarily about the actual thing that's happening in the story, especially with House, because it is always that. It's more the way the characters all interact and the way they're written, which is why I love things like Bones and House and Castle and things where they've got a little family of characters, because it's more about just seeing them interacting that's the fun bit. The story's kind of by the by. In Stargate and SG1, I'm not really there for the awesome story, although they are awesome. I'm more there for just how the characters all act with each other and sometimes how the actors portray those characters. Like Jack O'Neill is just one of the best characters I've ever seen in any sci-fi. He's just like, you can't help but like Jack O'Neill. He's just so irascible and indefatigable and yet also dumb but smart. I love Jack O'Neill. So it's more about the characters. So if it's like one dude, it's not really going to float my boat, that. I did like Bosch, but that's because the character of Bosch was so good. And he had his relationship with his daughter and the other guys at the, you had Thingy and Barrel, I can't remember what they're called now, the two other cops, and the other cops in the precinct. And that was quite good, but that wasn't so much ensemble, but he was a very powerful character, which kind of put that to one side. But typically if it's one dude as a character and then that's the thing, it's like doesn't really grab me, because I need an ensemble. Damn it, Castle theme in my head now. Do 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 do. Yep, there you go. I've just finished watching Castle. Right, what's cashier number 4 doing with his weapon? Ooh, matron. Cashier number 4 is holding it to his chest. Okay, let us do that then. Thanks for the welcome. I'm still teaching and building Gunpla, painting Warhammer with my students. I was about to ask you if I remembered correctly that it was you that was the teacher, and I was glad it was. Yes. Glad to see you back, buddy. It's been quite a few years now, I think. Been a while since I've done any gumplers, I have to say. But it's kind of cool if you get any students into the building and the painting, whatever they may be building and painting. It's great. Oops, Daisy. Yes, it's been a while. Always welcome back. My viewers, members and patrons and all my followers are always welcome back. Unless you know, they do bad things, in which case they're not. But you didn't do that. You have to do something pretty bad for somebody to be a persona non grata on my channel or in my forums, in my groups and stuff. You've got to be pretty much of a poor excuse for a person. Not many people have reached that level. Some have. There are some. I shall not name names. But yes. So we'll get this arm glued on. Again, it's all about lining up the angle of dangle. And again, remember, when you're gluing on these weapons for these guys, a lot of the time, it's about the angle, the forward and backward angle, not the left and right angle. That makes no sense at all, I know, but you'll see what I mean. That arm's a bit loose. It's not helping me at all. Oh. Why is his arm so loose? Get on! Fat cement is not helping me. No, we don't. Yes, we do. No, we don't. There we go. No, we don't. Arm is not staying in place for some bizarre reason. I don't quite know why. There we go. No, we don't. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Yeah, sometimes it's about tilting the weapon towards the chest or away from the chest, not just lifting up the hand, because they seem to be at a slight angle. And it's all about that particular angle of dangle. Okay, that's that. Done. Done and done. Umbrella Academy is definitely ensemble. Okay, I shall give it a try. Andy McLeish says, "Wow, Nico, awesome." Yeah, he likes to really get his class involved in the model stuff, which I think is awesome. Yeah. Although I'm not sure about the moral certitude of getting young minds addicted to Warhammer. He's quite expensive when you get older. Games Workshop are lovely for that. Muse is off. Time to go later all. Take care, Muse. Thank you for coming in. See you soon. Lynn says internet is back. Panzer says, Nico, during your absence nothing has changed. Fox is still a spoon, though he has started singing duo. Ooh, Nico says something and retracts it. That was too slow. If ever a hospital had a Dr. House, a lot of people would be fixed. Reacher, Jack Reacher, not the movies but the TV show. I don't know who Jack Reacher is. Speedy Kuwait doesn't know who Gerard Way is. I don't either. I kind of know the name Jack Reacher, but I don't. I mean, what is it? Is it crime? Is it? No idea. Is it a Marvel thing? Is it a DC thing? I do not know. Oh, that isn't the latest. That just reminded me. Isn't the latest Spider-Man's movie on the Disney's? I need to go and watch that if so. Right, pauldron time. It's time for pauldrons. Gentlemen, prepare your pauldron activities. Wait, who's persona non grata? Why are you still staring at me suddenly? Interesting spot on the floor. There's Andy McLeish. No, you're always persona grata. There are people who've been who've basically done things to make them removed from the community. Pooped on their own doorstep, as it were. Not many, it's very rare, but it does happen, and I don't make a fuss about it because I don't do that. I don't name and shame. I just say, remove them and never mention it. If somebody, does something wrong in the community and I feel the need to remove them, I just remove them. I don't make a public statement about it because it's nobody else's business. Just do it. So you may not even realise they've gone, but I also don't encourage you to talk about it in chat and things like that. So, yeah, not a subject for discussion. Beyond me saying it, if you know what I mean. New Doctor Strange is on Disney Plus now. I have watched it. I was whelmed. I wouldn't say overwhelmed. It was a bit boring. I've got to be honest with you. It was a bit... It's a bit like the Eternals in that it wasn't really funny, really. The thing with the Marvel movie is I expect at least some humour in there, even in a little bit of humour somewhere. I don't expect it to be an out-and-out comedy. We're not talking, it's not like a Thor movie, but I expect some light-hearted levity in places. But the new Doctor Strange was just kind of boring. I will admit that when the film finished, I thought, wow, has that been 2 and a bit hours already? Because not really much happened. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. It was alright. It just wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be. Right, so this is number 4. The last number 4 was looking to his right ever so slightly. So this guy we can have looking to his left ever so slightly. Which is a shame because I really like the Doctor Strange stuff. I really love Marvel. I've never been into... I've said this before. I've never been into Marvel. Couldn't stand the comics. I'm not really into comic books like that anyway, but couldn't stand the comics. But the movies, absolutely sold on that. Absolutely sold on the movies, the MCU. But now all the characters are going to change because I've changed all the Avengers and stuff. I hope it doesn't change. I hope it stays as good as it is. Lynn, when you get back to Texas, avoid Frontier as a broadband provider at all costs. They're awful. I switched to Spectrum and it has been excellent, says Jeff. Persona non grata, isn't that something with sliced potatoes and breadcrumbs? I think it involves Japanese school children and televisions. And Andy McLeish says, no, that's Dauphinoise potatoes. Not seen the new Strange yet. The new Thor looks like it'll have plenty of chuckles. Oh, God, yeah. Thor Love and Thunder looks like it's going to be a scream. Taika Waititi is my new favourite director. Fox is kind of like the CIA. People just sometimes disappear. Fox, no one is ever into Marvel. No one likes powdered milk. Wait, wrong Marvel. Ha I don't know if it's the same, but whenever I see Taika Waititi, because he voices that character, doesn't he, in the Marvel from the guy that's made of rock. I can't remember his name. Korg. After the synthesizer. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's the same, but there's a video on YouTube from many, many years ago called Beached Whale. It's just a little animated video about a whale that's beached. But it always reminds me of that because the voice of the whale sounds so much like that. He's like, oh, no, man. Oh, I'm beached. I'm beached is. It's not the same, obviously, but I think it's Australians doing it. I'm taking the mickey out of New Zealanders, but I love the voice of Korg. I think if you'd like to get on that big ship now that's just landing. So polite. Brilliant. If I ever start a band, Persona au gratin will be its name, says Jeff. Nico says, like an old friend, time doesn't feel like it really passed. I moved to the US East Coast and it's been very busy. Students are building Gunpla and some are learning how to play Warhammer as a club. Kick ass. You are doing God's work, sir. Not as a God, but you are doing God's work, sir. Getting them into Gunpla and Warhammers. Yes. Now make sure they don't make Ultramarines. That's the only thing I'll say. Get them building Space Wolves or Death World Eaters or, Empress Imperial Fists or something. Don't do Ultramarines. Get them making Deathcore Krieg. Oh, no, that's too expensive. You can't get kids into Forge World. That's just a crime. That's probably child abuse. Getting kids into... Oh, no, there's the plastic one. Get them building some Deathcore, i.e. Kill Team Veteran Guardsmen. Get them building a Deathcore army and some Baneblades. There you go. That's the right way to do it. That's the correct thing to do with children today. Here you go, child. I know you are 3 years old, but here's a selection of Death Corps of Krieg infantry and a Baneblade. Please construct them and paint them in the Death Corps of Krieg colour scheme. Off you go. I am proud of you, my son. This is the correct thing. Or Tau if they're like Gundam. Yeah, that's true. For the greater good. Yeah, you're clearly the best teacher in the world if you're encouraging them to make God models and stuff. So I knew that anyway when I used to know you before. So there you go. Right. So I built 2 today, which is completely rubbish, but there you go. I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying time with you guys. I can see it now. Andy McLeish, I can see it now. What have you got there? Ultramarines teach silence and the sound of a slow exhale. Fox isn't going to like that. Yeah, I don't mind really. I don't like Ultramarines. They're just boring. It's like vanilla. It's like I don't know. It's the least interesting choice. Anyway, I think we shall leave it there. I built 2. Slow progress. I'll try and get some more done tonight, and I think we are doing an E-Models Monday show tomorrow. Me, Ted, Chris, and hopefully Colin. Like I say, I don't know where Colin is. I'm assuming he's just had a long extra sleep. Hopefully that's the case and he's okay. Hopefully he's all right. But hopefully he'll be with us tomorrow for the E-Models Monday show. That'll be 9 o'clock tomorrow on the E-Models Monday channel. I, of course, will be back on Friday, all being well, with Colin on his channel, Festa 67's workshop, for the Friday Frolic at midnight on Friday. Saturday, of course. Now, on Friday and Saturday this week, like I did last week, I will, of course, schedule in my Fallout 4 gameplay on Friday and my Cyberpunk gameplay on Saturday streams for you. But if I'm still building this, I might then swatch that over to be building this at the bench, so just stay tuned. It'll still be the same slot, the same time. It just might not be Xbox times, it might be workbench times, but we'll see. And I'll be back, of course, next Sunday for Warhammer Sunday. But until then, I'll see if I can get some stuff done during the week as well. I will try and do some filming. You never know. I might do some filming when I paint these, just a little bit, because I can't spend too much. I need to get these built and painted and sold, so we shall see. Box Fox says, if they're young, it's best to start with Space Marines because they are very easy to paint. 2 whole soldiers, you are improving. We're proud of you. Shut up, you. Quiet in the cheap seats. Colin appears tomorrow with a plaster on his noggin and a bruise in the shape of a rolling pin. Yeah, quite possibly. Thanks for having us and welcoming me back to the channel. You're more than welcome, Nico. Welcome back. I hope to see you lots again. Thanks for the live stream, Fox, says Jeff. By all, stay safe and be good-ish, says Spid. Brilliant. Well, I'll get some more of these done anyway. It's not even on camera. I'm not used to being close-ups. I don't know where all my bits are, if you pardon the expression. I don't even know. 4, 5. No, that's 4, 5. There we go. So we'll crack on anyway. We'll get these done. I've got 3 more of these to build, and then I can start on the Terminators. Get to the Terminators is the right thing to do. Anyway, I shall say thank you very much for watching. Do take care of yourself. Be safe. Be good. If you can't be good, charge. And until next time, I shall say thank you for coming along. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Become a patron if you want to help support the channel, or a channel member. And I will see you next time. Take care. Adios, amoebas. Bye.